Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Fridays with the Fiddle Fig. I'm John Selby with the Selby team, and this is a topic I think is important to cover for many of our seller clients or people who are thinking about selling, is what you should do or what you should prepare, or how you should prepare your house to get it ready for the upcoming buyer's appraisal. This sounds like kind of a crazy thing. You get your house ready for the buyer's appraisal, but there are some things that you can do that will help, one, minimize any costs, any additional costs to the potential buyer, which keeps them happy, but also two, can ensure that your house will appraise, or more likely to appraise at the value that you want to appraise it. So the first thing, which is probably somewhat obvious, but keep your house clean. You know, appraisers are humans, and so they come into a house and they see it messy or dirty or the backyard's in disarray, they're gonna start looking for other problems, or they're gonna think it's maybe not as nice as it actually is. And so it's important to maybe treat your appraiser as if they are a buyer and keep your house in good order for them so that they can get the best image and best impression of your house. The second item is to make sure you have carbon monoxide detectors and smoke alarms in your house. Now in the state of California, or in San Diego I should say, the rule of thumb is to have one of each on every floor. There are some other regulations in there that say you need one outside of every bedroom and outside of every living space. So there is some discrepancy on this, but I always tell my sellers as a rule of thumb, just make sure you have one carbon monoxide detector and one smoke alarm on every floor. And this is the reason for this is because the seller or the appraiser is going to come out and they need to actually verify that these are on the property to satisfy the lender. And if they aren't there, they potentially have to come back out. And if they come back out, they're going to charge the buyer, and the buyer can get upset, and you know how that goes. So just get one in your house or get two in your house and make everyone happy. And the third thing, which should be in every house, but sometimes we run into it not being there, is to have your hot water strapped. So if you don't have one of those tankless hot water heaters that go up against the wall and they're secured to the wall, and you have one of the big tanks, you want to make sure that they're strapped properly for earthquakes. And so you would have two straps on there, one on the upper part and one on the bottom part, and it's going to be strapped to or affixed to like a wall or some sort of secure structure. And the reason for this is, it's a safety hazard. If the house were to have an earthquake or something were to happen and it were to fall off, it's heavy, there's hot water in it, things like that. And so that's another requirement that most appraisers look at, and they have to take a picture and verify that it's there. So get your hot water heater strapped if it's not already strapped, not only for yourself, but for the upcoming appraisal you may have on your property. So as you see, there's a few simple things that you can do to ensure you have a smooth appraisal at your home. That's, in conjunction with us, your listing agents, going out there and making sure we have the proper comps for the property and we can meet the appraiser there and chat and talk with them through the comps and the other, and your property. So you want to go out there, you want to make sure the house is clean and tidy so that the appraiser gets a good impression of the home. You want to make sure you have at least one carbon monoxide detector and one smoke alarm on every floor. And you want to make sure your hot water heater is strapped so that there's no safety issue with it potentially falling off of its thing and off of its stand and burning anyone. So that's it for this week's episode of Fridays with the Fiddle Fig. Hope you enjoyed it, and check back next week for another episode.